Alrighty then. Okay. Maybe let's take a quick peek here. Alright, so anyways, hope everybody's having a good week thus far as we have reached hump day, of course. Let's see. We'll wait a few minutes, give people a chance to get in here. Let's see. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, looking for you. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are ya? All the stars are here, waiting for you. Couldn't have a show without ya. Scooby, Scooby-Doo. Hey, Scooby, where are you? Over here. Sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes are picking up the slack. There's no case too big, no case too small. When you need help, just call Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. And you know you'll find red and white and blue. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales. Ooh. I've been making DuckTales. Ooh. You've been waiting, I've been waiting. DuckTales. And we're out the strangers out to find you. When you grab onto some DuckTales. Ooh, hey toys! Hydrate. When you know that I've been making DuckTales. Ooh, you've been making. Thank you for the like and share. And the little emoji there. We're out the strangers out to find you. When you grab onto some DuckTales. Ooh. I've been making DuckTales. Woo. You've been waiting, I've been waiting. DuckTales. Woo. Anyway. Hey, Toy, so how's everything going? Did you have a good day today? Hopefully all went well for you. Just popping in before bed. Okay, well, thank you at least for popping in. I just giving it a few more minutes to try to see if we can get some more people in here. Hopefully, if you had a chance to share it, that will help, and see if we can get some. Maybe your friend will come in to check it out. Hopefully, among others. Thank you for popping in to say hi. Let's see. Yeah. So, anyways, anything new coming up for you, Toys? All right. So let's see. I'm just waiting for the 5-minute mark with two of us in here. Then I'll go ahead and start talking about what's on tap for tonight here. Not really. All right. Well, we're at the 5-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and start getting started a little bit here. So we basically going to go over 6 articles. Plus, we got some AEW news, of course. Going on tonight with Dynamite. The 6 articles, 5 of them anime related, 1 comic related. 4 of the 6 are on CBR. The other 2 are on Founding in the Comics. Among those include let's see, some trailers coming out, theatrical release information, including That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Got a release date coming out. Let's see what else. As I recall, Beyblade Burst is going to have a free merch giveaway at Anime Expo. They're actually doing a limited release as part of the 5th anniversary run for One Piece Film Gold. And Seiya Knights of the Zodiac Battle for Sanctuary debuts in the U.S. this summer. So, the 4 from CBR, and then let's see, I think on the there's one comic artist named and I can't remember his name, who goes off on Clarence Thomas, basically calling him an Uncle Tom. And let's see, I might as well just go over to Bounding in the Comics for a moment and check the articles out there. Oh yeah, and we got some update information on the Uzumaki movie that's been slated to be coming out for like the last couple of years here. So those are the news stories we have for you on tap for tonight. I'll get started on that in just a moment here since we get back. Anyways. All right, so it's 7:35, so I think it's a good time to get started on the articles then. Alrighty then. Alright, so here we go then. Let's get going on these articles. And as always, if anything catches your attention or anything grabs your attention, feel free to comment or ask any questions about it. If I can answer the questions, I'll do my best to do so. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, the movie, gets a U.S. theatrical release date. Crunchyroll announces a release window for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, the movie, after acquiring the worldwide distribution rights. Article by Brenna Launer, published 12 hours ago. Crunchyroll announces a U.S. theatrical release window for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, the movie Scarlet Bond. Audiences in the U.S. can expect to see the Isekai series' first movie in early 2023. The film will be distributed globally through Crunchyroll, which acquired the rights for distribution and marketing for the movie from Kodansha. Scarlet Bond will debut in Japan several months before the global release, first hitting Japanese theaters in November 2022. So basically around Thanksgiving our time. Anime Streamer released an English subtitled version of the movie's trailer to accompany its announcement. Scarlet Bond will take place after the events from season 2 of the anime. The synopsis of the film promises to highlight new characters and an unraveling conspiracy surrounding a mysterious power growing in the West. Scarlet Bond will seemingly center around Hero, a surviving member of the Ogre Village, who once served under Benimaru's command in Rimuru, the series' returning protagonist and titular Slime. The story for the movie is being written by Fuse, the author of the original light novel series that the anime is based off of. Interesting stuff right there. Let's see if we have any. Anyways, as we continue here with the article. The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is a fantasy isekai light novel series by Fuse and illustrator Mitzvah. Since the initial release, the series has been adapted into both an anime and manga, both of which have received widespread critical acclaim. The manga adaptation won the 2018 Bookwalker Award, and the anime won the quote-unquote Anime of the Season award in summer of 2021. The anime was also named Best Fantasy Series in the 2022 Crunchyroll Anime Awards. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime follows Satoru Mikami, a regular office worker who wakes up in a fantasy world after his untimely death. Satoru finds himself inhabiting the body of a slime creature. That despite being blind and deaf, possesses several special powers and abilities. After an encounter with a dragon, Satoru is renamed as Rimuru Tempest, and in his body, he begins to grow in power and influence. The anime follows Rimuru's evolution as he meets new friends, creates new enemies, and unlocks his slimy powers. There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Something weird, and it don't look good. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. The anime adaptation of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime currently is available through Crunchyroll and Amazon. Light novels are licensed in North America by Yen Press, while the manga series is available in English through Kodansha. Right, so there we go with that one. Alright, so let me see now. What's next here? This one right here. If anybody's here yet. Oh, we got another person here. That's cool. Ready? If you can like and share the stream, So see if we can get some more people in here. That'd be appreciated. Anyways, on to the next story then here. Beyblade Burst announces free merch giveaway at Anime Expo. Beyblade Burst is coming to Anime Expo 2022 with a panel, tournament, and plenty of ways to win Beyblade merchandise like pins and t-shirts. Article by Haley McCullough, published 9 hours ago. So look at that. Giveaway free unlimited edition merch. Tournament every day for all levels. Free play area. Win battles to receive a prize. So here we go. Beyblade Burst is coming to this year's Anime Expo. According to a press release from 80K Emotions, the licensing company behind the series, there will be several Beyblade Burst themed events during the 4-day convention. Notably, the anime's interactive booth will have a free play area where fans can battle each other and earn special collectible stamps. Moreover, multiple formal tournament battles will be held over the weekend. The ultimate winner will receive a swag bag filled with unlimited edition t-shirts, pins, stickers, toys, and other Beyblade merchandise. Beyblade Burst is participating in Anime 2022, July 1st to the 4th. That's this weekend, of course. The LA Convention Center. Come join us at our booth. Battle with us. We still have to. Oh, yeah. All right. So, anyways, as we continue on, then there will also be a Beyblade Burst panel, during which footage from the latest anime series will be screened. The panel will feature a quiz as well, where fans will be able to showcase their passion and knowledge for all things Beyblade Burst. Those who manage to answer questions correctly will receive a currently undisclosed prize. Takara Tomi's Beyblade multimedia franchise focuses on different groups of kids and teenagers battling each other with spinning tops that often contain powerful spirits, kicked off in 1999 with the launch of the iconic toy line and the debut of Takao Aoki's original manga series in Shogakukan's Koro Koro comic. Hiromorita's Beyblade Burst manga was serialized in Koro Koro comic from August 2015 to December 2021, producing 20 volumes worth of the story. And the first anime adaptation by OLM originally aired from April 2016 to March 2017. The studio's latest adaptation, Beyblade Burst Quad Drive, concluded its initial run of episodes earlier this year. Always, if anything catches your attention or you have any questions, feel free to comment or ask. If I can answer the question, I will do my best to do so. Weird, and I don't like it. The upcoming Anime Expo appearance isn't the only development for the Beyblade franchise. Paramount recently revealed it is developing a live-action film adaptation. Oh, another live-action film adaptation of an anime series. Oh, goody. Well, as far as I know, though, Paramount isn't usually as bad with this stuff as some of the other companies. But I guess we'll just wait and see. Hopefully, it will do okay. But as we know, if they sit there and try to put in a bunch of woke garbage, it's gonna bomb like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Screenwriters Neil Widener and Gavin James are attached to the project, alongside producer Jerry Bruckheimer, who previously worked on Pirates of the Caribbean and National Treasure franchises. Anime Expo 2022 will be held in the Los Angeles Convention Center from July 1st to 4th. This will be the first time the convention has been held in person since the beginning of COVID-19 pandemic. Alongside the Beyblade Burst events, the convention will feature a One Piece themed concert and the North American debuts of two My Hero Academia animated specials. The Beyblade anime series are available to stream on Disney Now, the Disney Now app. Okay, so there we go with that one. Far with the first two stories here. There's a third story here. Alright, and I'll be right back. I'm going to step away from the computer for a moment, but what I will do is leave music on. So you guys can... So it won't be dead air here. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. See, Um, all right, so let's continue on with the next article then. And if you can like and share the screen, help see if we can get some more people in here. That'd be appreciated. Um, Anyways, One Piece film Gold returns to theaters for a limited fifth anniversary run. This is, I think, in conjunction with the One Piece film Red that's coming out. I think it might already be out. In fact, the Red film. This is film Gold. So, the Straw Pirates will be returning to theaters in the U.S. in a two-night limited engagement showing of One Piece film Gold. Article by Renee More almost 8 hours ago. A Luby there with the hat and not his typical. Well, he's got the straw hat on the back of his head, but got a cowboy hat on there as well. The Straw Hat Pirates will soon set sail for U.S. theaters in a limited time screening of One Piece film Gold, the 13th film in the beloved shonen franchise. As detailed in a press release and a promotional video posted on Toei Animation's official YouTube channel, Toei Animation Incorporated and Fathom Events will be bringing One Piece film Gold back to theaters in the U.S. for a two-night limited engagement screening on July 24th and 26th. So let's see, 24th, 26th. So that will be a Sunday and a Tuesday, basically. Basically 3 weeks from this weekend. The dubbed version will be shown on July 24th, while the Japanese version with English subtitles will be shown on July 26th. These screenings are meant to celebrate Gold's fifth anniversary, as well as the upcoming release of One Piece film Red. As I thought, I thought that was part of the reason they'd be doing it. But so that means that Gold came out in 2017, I gather, which will be debuting in Japan on August 6th and coming to theaters in North America this fall. That's Red. That's One Piece film Red. In addition to the screening of Gold, there will also be a special pre-show interview with Goro Taniguchi, the director of One Piece film Red, the 15th film in the One Piece franchise. Red revolves around Luffy and again meeting a famous diva named Princess Uda, who also happens to be the daughter of red-haired Shanks, a man who inspired Luffy to become a pirate and form the Straw Hat crew. Okay, released in 2016. All right, maybe it was pushed back a year. Maybe it was pushed back a year because of COVID, I guess. Let's see. One Piece film Gold was directed by Hiroki Miyamoto, who also served as series director for episodes 352 through 679. One Piece of the One Piece anime. Gold takes place in the beautiful city ship Grand Tesoro, which serves as a sanctuary not only for millionaires but also for some of the world's most infamous pirates. The Straw Hat Pirates are initially drawn to the place by the prospect of gold, but end up butting heads with the quote unquote casino king, Guild Tesoro, who despises the wealthy and wishes to make them pay a heavy price for their good fortune. Gold was a huge success upon its release, ultimately becoming one of the three highest grossing One Piece films of all time. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Let's see. Let's see if you guys there's anything more. Nope. Boy. Hello, you fool! I love you. You want to join the joyride? Join the joyride, yeah. The One Piece manga, which was created by Eiichiro Oda, debuted in Weekly Shonen Jump in 1997, centered around the adventures of Monkey D. Luffy and his crew as they embark on a journey to find the legendary treasure of Goldie Roger, the original king of the pirates. Of 1,000 plus chapters later, it is now the best-selling manga of all time, with over 500 million copies in circulation worldwide. Oda recently confirmed that One Piece is finally nearing its end. It's currently on a 1-month hiatus while he plans out the series' last story. One Piece is available in English in both print and digital versions from Viz Media. The first 10 seasons of the anime can be streamed on Netflix. Alrighty then. So there we go with that one. So we're about halfway through the articles. Let's see. We'll probably be hitting the last of our TBR articles here in a moment. Let's see. We have anybody? No, just me still. So, walking through this town in a faceless crowd, I need to feel the touch of a friend. In the countryside, I wander far and wide. Isolation gets me again. I don't know where to go when I feel like crying. Oh my, it's time to open myself. Do something new, I want to stop and grow up a bit. Then suddenly my intuition and my wisdom grow. And then I know that most of all, and compassionately, strangers wherever they go. Thank you for waking me up. Stray, stray, as I walk alone, live and die. Everything else came as I lost my way again. Oh, stray. When you think about there's nothing to lose when you stray. I'm gonna live my life without you until we're gone. Stray, stray, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't wanna be, you don't wanna die. Every time you go and say bye-bye. Ananoshite as a lonely day. Everyone they know you are okay. Every time you wait. Everybody wants to be a master. Everybody wants to show their skills. Everybody wants to get there faster, make their way to the top of the hill. Each time you try, gonna get a little bit better. Each step you climb one more step up the ladder. It's a whole new world we live in. It's a whole new way to see. It's a whole new way with a brand new attitude, but you still gotta catch 'em all. The best that you can be. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. It's a whole new world we live in, but you still gotta catch 'em all to be the best that you can be. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. All right, anyways, back to the articles here. Back to the article here. All right. Saint Seiya. Knights of the Zodiac Battle for Sanctuary debuts in the U.S. this summer. And it looks like it's a CGI series as well here. Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac releases new art and a trailer as Crunchyroll confirms it will stream the series this summer. Article by Brenna Lahner, published 6 hours ago. Now, this is the newest version of the series. This is not the one from what I gather from back in the 90s there, just so you guys know. The second season of Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac will debut on Crunchyroll this summer. In addition to confirmation of the second season, Crunchyroll released a new trailer and art for the series. Season 2, entitled Battle for Sanctuary, will be released worldwide, excluding Asia, through the streaming service in summer 2022. So coming up here. Saint Seiya, all the days and nights again. Saint Seiya. The season 2 trailer pays homage to the original Saint Seiya anime with clips from the 1986 series. So yeah, back in the 80s, calling it, quote, the legend that inspired generations, unquote. It also includes scenes from the new show contrasting the original 2D art style with the new CG adaptation. The trailer also highlights the 5 titular knights of the Zodiac in both their original and rebooted designs. Netflix rebooted the classic Saint Seiya anime series in 2019, complete with a sleek new 3D redesign. The new series, called Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac, adapted the quote-unquote Galaxian Wars, quote-unquote Black Knights, and quote-unquote Silver Saints arcs from the manga. It received a lukewarm reception from audiences, with many fans of the original show calling it a disappointment. However, amongst its detractors were some who appreciated the Netflix reboot new take on the original source material. Saint Seiya, all the days and nights we go. Saint Seiya, every time you wanna go. Saint Seiya. Saint Seiya was originally a manga series written and illustrated by Masami Kurumada, was serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump between 1986 and 1999, and reached completion at 110 chapters collected into 28 volumes. As of 2022, the manga has over 50 million copies in circulation. Since its manga debut, the series has spawned multiple anime adaptations, including a 114 episode series and 6 films, a live action adaptation starring Sean Bean, Game of Thrones, and Famke Janssen, X-Men, is also in production, with a release expected sometime in 2023. Saint Seiya, Knight of the Zodiac, follows an orphan named Seiya on his journey to become the Pegasus Knight, one of the Knights of the Zodiac, charged with protecting the reincarnated goddess Athena. However, a dark prophecy promises that Athena will lead to the destruction of mankind. Despite the prophecy, Seiya is determined to protect Athena from those who wish her harm. Season 2 promises to pick up where the first season left off as Seiya battles the legendary 12 Gold Knights. The first 12 episodes of Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac are currently available through Netflix. Alrighty then, so there we go with that one. That's it for CBR. Now we'll head over to Bounding into Comics. You have one story of keynote because this next anime story has been out for the last couple of years here in terms of this movie has been supposed to have been out a while ago, but it's been on hold indefinitely, it seemed like. Anyways, I'm going to step away for a moment. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, well, we're past the 45-minute mark. So yes, I will go ahead and get into this article now. And this is a story that's been out for the last couple of years here. This film, they've been talking about this film supposed to be coming. It was supposed to premiere like far back as 2020, I think, but it just simply kept, but it apparently simply, well, here. Adult Swim and Production IG developed anime adaptation of Junji Ito's Uzumaki spirals into an indefinite delay, which they're saying it's been definitely delayed for like the last couple of years. They've been promising this would be coming out soon and stuff. So for the last like 2 or 3 years here. So article by Nerdigans Inc. published yesterday. So let's see. Nightmares are usually best watched together, or at least they would have been until the COVID-19 pandemic resulted in an indefinite delay of the highly anticipated anime adaptation of Junji Ito's best-selling horror manga Uzumaki. So it's Uzumaki to be determined. Adult Swim. Again, this they've been promising this for the last 2 or 3 years here. Still hasn't come out. On June 27th, which was Monday, the official Twitter account for the Uzumaki anime tweeted out an important update in regards to the status of the anime. Therein, announcing, quote, thanks to everyone for their interest and positive comments about our Uzumaki anime adaptation. Unfortunately, the premiere date of the series must again be delayed. Continuous delay. This is not going to be. It's not going to make a lot of people happy. Uh, quote, quote, in order to replicate the quality of the intricate designs and detailed line work of Mr. Ito's classic manga, director Nagahama and the production team have asked for additional time to recreate Ito's masterpiece properly, unquote, the series production team explained. So basically, they're trying to get the artwork down is what it sounds like. Trying to, I guess they're trying to really get well, and I think once it's done, sure people will appreciate it. It's just that when you're promising something and then you're not delivering, it's gonna get on people's nerves. And you're not gonna have a lot of patience when all is said and done. Anyways, let's continue on here with what's going on here. Let's see. Quote, as much as we'd like to deliver this show to the public as soon as possible, we don't want to compromise its quality by delivering a mediocre final product. Okay, I think we can understand that. But you should be giving people updates and letting them know when exactly it's going to be done because you've been saying this and saying this. It's coming, and people are just going to get tired. They're going to think you're a liar. Quote, we remain fully committed to pursuing the completion of this work at the highest caliber. They assured fans, in conclusion to their statement, quote, we'll be back with a firm premiere date once we are confident this adaptation is good as we know it can be. Thank you for your continuing patience and support. Okay. Well, maybe you should have got all the good work in before announcing that you're going to have it ready. The series delay also drew an acknowledgement from Ito himself, who took to his personal Twitter to tell fans, as translated by Production IG USA President Maki Terashima, Quote, this is to announce the postponement of the broadcast of the anime in smaller quotes, Uzumaki. Now, of course, to remind everybody, this is something totally different. This this is an anime movie that has nothing to do with Naruto. Okay, has absolutely nothing to do with Naruto. If you were thinking that this was a part of the Naruto franchise, it's not. It's something just totally different. From what I understand, it's a horror manga. Uzumaki, for those of you who may not know, is, I believe, the Japanese word for hurricane. It's the Japanese word for the word we would call hurricane. Um, this is really stupid. Let's see. Um, Anime Uzumaki, which is scheduled to air on Cartoon Network Adult Swim Block Slot, small quote Tsunami in the U.S. Please a wait a moment for another official release announcement. And the problem is that if they're not careful, by the time with the way Toonami is going right now, because Toonami's struggling a bit right now too, because the thing is, Toonami's not getting a lot of properties fast enough, and it almost seems like Netflix and Crunchyroll are taking over more and more anime. So you know, so it seems like Toonami is not getting because people are streaming more than watching TV. So um, that they better be careful though because this is going to end up being a broken promise if Toonami decides to just say something we're we're losing money on this we're losing on this nobody's staying up to watch so we might as well just close it down you know because the thing is that nobody like for me I like Naruto too, but then I've been watching it. It's just I'm not gonna stay up till like 3 o'clock in the morning to watch it. A lot of people don't. A lot of people have things to do like go to church or go to work or what have you. And the other programs on Tsunami for me personally are not as interesting. I saw Assassination Classroom. That one was pretty good. I'm excitedly waiting to see if and when Black Clover comes back to Tsunami, unless they just decided to shift that over to like Crunchyroll or whatever, you know. I think they did complete the Attack on Titan season. I think they've moved. Let's see. I think they moved My Hero Academia over to Crunchyroll. I think they've also moved um, My Hero Academia. I think they moved over to Crunchyroll. Um, so um, yeah, so Tsunami though may not necessarily be around much longer at the rate they're going. They can't even, and they, and they can't even, and they have a bunch of older anime they could theoretically use and maybe try to spark some interest in some of the older anime, but they're again choosing not to. I mean, you cannot tell me that it's that super difficult to obtain broadcasting. And then again, I don't know. So, anyways, getting back to this. Though this news left fans of Ito's brand of horror sorely disappointed, they have thankfully received recent confirmation that the series is still in production. On June 10th, the official Uzumaki anime Twitter shared, quote, a quick look at some storyboards for episode 1, unquote, with eager viewers. All right, well, maybe it is an anime series. I was under the impression it was more like a movie, but um, well, as you can see, we are using Hiro-san's manga as our guide, unquote. You notice, quote, we can't wait to terrify. terrify you all. Yeah, but I think that I'm not sure if that's how you spell terrify. Sadly, the four-episode adaptation is no stranger to delay. So it's only four episodes, so it's probably I don't know if that means that it's for anime or a joint production of Production IG's American branch, Production IG USA, which of course also was involved with Panda Pirate Princess. Adult Swim featuring animation by Studio Drive, Konosuba, and Explosion on the Wonderful World. Uzumaki was originally scheduled to premiere in 2020. As I said, this thing's been announced for 2 years until a self-release date change for 6 months into that year revealed production issues had pushed back the series debut to 2021. And almost 1 year later, in June 2021, Adult Swim co-creator and Warner Discovery Senior Vice President of Action and Anime, Jason DeMarco, um, also one of the guys who basically is in charge of Tsunami, by the way, regretfully informed fans that Uzumaki had, had quote, been moved to October 2022, um, unquote, explaining that, quote, uh, Director Hiroshi Nagahama and the team just need more time to cook and get it perfect. Again, though, you delay it too much longer. By the time you guys get it the way you want it, it may be too late. The tsunami's gonna die out of here. There's probably something that tsunami needs as much as you need it. Because you know people watching. But in a video update shared by DeMarco alongside his tweet, Nagahama unmasked the culprit behind all the delays. Like the majority of the Japanese anime industry, the production for Uzumaki had fallen victim to the COVID-19 pandemic. So much so, in fact, the production team had to restructure their production plans from the bottom up. So basically, so now I can understand having some of those delays, with all the restrictions and all that, and the breakdown in communication lines because you can't go out to do this, you can't go out to do that. You know. Well, thank you, whoever gave me another came on and gave me another like. All right. Well, I wanted the fans who have been waiting for Uzumaki to know that I feel truly apologetic for the delay and ask for your patience just a little more, unquote, Nagahama said in the video. Okay. Seeking to soften the blow, Nagahama included in his message a 35-second teaser from the first episode of Uzumaki, therein giving fans their first sneak peek into the cursed town of Kurozu. And this does have kind of a nice look to it, with kind of the black and white here. Kind of a modernized black and white artwork. It does look kind of cool. What are your thoughts on the latest production delay for the Uzumaki anime? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. Editors note this article has been updated to replace the machine translation of Ito's tweet with one personally provided by Production IG USA President Maki Terashima. Okay, well, as for the continual delays, yes, I think people can be somewhat understanding of the whole COVID-19 pandemic issue and how that led to delays. But again, with what's going on, like first off with Toonami, with the fact that they're not getting licenses as much to show as quickly, that's kind of hurting them, you know. Um, with everything being moved over to Crunchyroll, that's hurting them, you know. It's gonna get to the point to where by the time they're finished, they're not going to be able to show it on Crunchyroll. They're not going to be able to show it on Toonami. They'll have to show it on Crunchyroll because Toonami will be, will be dead. Anyways, so with that, we're done with all the anime. So we do have just the one comic article. To that in a moment here, and do a couple quick little things here before we get started. So I'm going to step away from the camera for a moment. I'll be right back. While I'm gone, I'll leave you guys some music to listen to while all right, I'm back. All right. So, anyways, so this is going to be the last article we're going to probably go over here. The long comic article of the night. All right. So, former Archie comic Sonic the Hedgehog writer Kim Penders labels Clarence Thomas and quote unquote Uncle Tom for his concurring opinion in Roe versus Wade decision. Now, mind you, here's this that in itself is pretty ignorant because abortion originally was proposed by by people like Margaret Mead as a form of population control of the black community. All right, so if anybody is quote unquote racist here, I would say it's Mr. Pender. Um, anyway, the article by Spencer McCauley, published June 29th. Upset with the recent repealing of Roe versus Wade, and in particular Clarence Thomas' concurring opinion on the decision, former Archie Comics Sonic the Hedgehog author Kim Penders has written off the U.S. Supreme Court justice as nothing more than an quote unquote Uncle Tom for those who hold conservative beliefs. Of course, a lot of these radicals who are just very ungrateful for the country they live in. All right, so Badge Report 119, Archie Comics, words by Ken Penders, art by Art Mahini, Harvey Murka. Anyways, as announced on June 24th, following the review of the Dobbs versus Jackson women's health organization legal case in which the eponymous abortion clinic sued Mississippi State Department of Health Officer Thomas E. Dobbs on the grounds of the state's Gestational Age Act banning all abortions after 15 weeks was unconstitutional. Um, and the U.S. Supreme Court held by a 6-3 vote that, quote, the Constitution does not confer the right to abortion, Roe versus Wade, and Planned Parenthood versus Casey are overruled, and the authority to regulate abortion is returned to the people and their elected representatives. See, what a lot of people don't understand here is this. Yes, Roe versus Wade basically put it in the federal legislate, been in Congress's hands to regulate. But in the Constitution, there is no enumerated right to kill your baby because it's inconvenient. Okay? You know, the Constitution does not confer you the right to be able to kill your baby because it's inconvenient. Kill your baby in utero because you either decided that you wanted to go out and have sex, or that you put yourself in a position where you compromise your decision making ability, a la getting drunk, and got yourself in a situation where you got pregnant. I know the way I'm saying this is not going to sound nice, and people are going to skew me for it, but that's a fact. If you don't want to have a baby, don't have sex. Don't kill it after the fact. Just don't have sex in the first place. Show a little more self-discipline. Show a little more self-control. It's a lot easier than you think. But anyways, moving on with the article here. Novel de China, Volume 1, Number 27. Who wrote the book of Love Anyway? Delivering the opinion of the court, Justice Alito wrote, quote, Roe's defenders characterized the abortion right as similar to the rights recognized in past decisions involving matters such as intimate sexual relations, contraception, and marriage. But abortion is fundamentally different, as both Roe and Casey acknowledged, because it destroys what those decisions called, quote unquote, or in smaller quotes, fetal life, and what the law now before us describes as an, in smaller quotes, unborn human being. Speaking to the argument that a woman's right to an abortion was secured under the Privacy Act secured by the 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause, which grants citizens protections against the invasion of their private lives by government under the provision that no state shall, quote, deprive any person of their liberty, unquote. Thomas asserted in his concurrence that, quote, the resolution of this case is thus straightforward because the Due Process Clause does not secure any substantive rights. It does not secure a right to an abortion. It's true. Taking note of the many claims by supporters of Roe that the case's overturning would lead to attacks on the rights granted to citizens by Griswold versus Connecticut, right of married persons to obtain contraceptives, Lawrence versus Texas, right to engage in private consensual sexual acts, and Obergefell versus Hodges, right to same-sex marriage, Thomas then attempted to assure the concern that these rights were, quote-unquote, not an issue. Quote, the court's abortion cases are unique and no party has asked us to decide whether our entire 14th Amendment jurisprudence must be preserved or revised, unquote, said Justice Roberts. Quote, thus I agree that nothing in the court's opinion should be understood to cast doubt on precedents that do not concern abortion. In other words, what they're saying here is that the only thing they're dealing with is abortion. They're not dealing with any other social issue, albeit there's been those on the left there who suggest that the reasoning, the underlying reasoning used to overturn Roe could also be used to overturn some of these others. But in many of these cases, as it's said, these are not, the right to get married, the right to consent. These are not enumerated rights. These are These are things that are to be held, and that's another thing too. It's not that the overturning of Roe versus Wade outlawed abortion; it put it back in the hands of the states. It just means that guess what? If you want to have an abortion, you're going to have, let's say you live in Texas or in Oklahoma or something like that, you're going to have to go out to California or New York or something to get an abortion, or Illinois or whatever. Because the Constitution paramount, first and foremost, it says the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, with the first word there being life. Every entity, whether it is a man, woman, child, or even a conceived child, has a right to live. That is paramount. That is a right above all other rights. Above the rights to privacy, above the rights to be heard, you have the right to live. Okay? If you don't want to have a baby, don't have sex. Don't put yourself in a situation where your decision making could be compromised and you could end up in a situation where you end up having sex and you didn't necessarily want to have sex. It is that simple. However, to that end, Thomas then opined, quote, "For that reason, in future cases, we should reconsider all of the court's substantive due process precedents, including Griswold, Lawrence, Obergefell," unquote, arguing that, quote, "because any substantive due process decision is, in smaller quotes, demonstrably erroneous," unquote. He continued, quote, "We have a duty to correct the error established in those precedents." In other words, what he's saying is that the reasoning behind Roe, the legal reasoning behind Roe, the legal reasoning behind Obergefell, the legal reasoning behind Lawrence, and the legal reasoning behind Griswold, they were faulty and therefore should be looked at again. And if somebody does decide to challenge those laws, okay, then they will review it. Of course, many on the left don't want them reviewed because they're afraid that more than likely they'll be able to find a legal reason to overturn those rules. So after overruling these demonstrably erroneous decisions, the question would remain whether other constitutional provisions guarantee the myriad rights that our substantive due process cases have generated, unquote. He added, quote, "For example, we could consider whether any of the rights announced in the court's substantive due process case are, quote, privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States protected by the 14th Amendment. Aren't. So, or aren't. So, essentially, I think where he's going with this is it's not for the court to make law. It's for the court to interpret the law. And these decisions, because of the legal reasoning behind them, the court ended up making laws that were never intended to be made. Let me see if anybody's even on listening to all this. See if there's any. We actually do have. Hey guys, thanks for popping in here. Oh, yeah, I've really got a good one here. So, Ken Penders, who's a former comic writer for Archie Comics, is basically calling Clarence Thomas and Uncle Tom for his concurring opinion on Roe versus Wade. That's what I've been kind of talking about here. Let's see. I agree it is for the court to uphold the law, not make it. Yeah. So yeah, excuse me a moment, guys. I'll be right back. Just gonna make a slight adjustment with one of my little curtains here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave you some music to listen to while That's on back. Back. I'll get back. Back. But anyways, getting back to the article here. Though Thomas made no explicit reference to whether these reconsiderations would be done out of an effort to correct poor law or to rescind the respective rights, many kept many leapt to take his opinion as an absolute declaration of war on these freedoms, including Pender's. Of course they did. Um, well, how screwed up is Clarence Thomas's interpretation of the Constitution? Original intent in U.S. law, unquote. He asked after the court officially made public the decision. And quote, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson would have him picking cotton. Oh, that's a racist statement, isn't it? Look at these SJWs just exposing themselves right there. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson would have him picking cotton on their plantations. He wouldn't get anywhere near the Supreme Court except to clean the toilets. Yeah, real tolerant, isn't he? A real tolerant guy, isn't he? Awesome. A real tolerant individual, isn't he? Doesn't that just scream tolerance to you? And Penders, with that statement, I think just proved to everybody he's a racist himself. Receiving immediate backlash and accusations of racism to his post, Penders doubled down, pushing back against his critics. Quote, in case anyone wants to claim I'm a racist for calling out Clarence Thomas for the Uncle Tom that he most certainly is, Thomas is making it clear how much he hates gay rights. No, I don't think that's the case. I think you're a racist. Quote, sounds pretty bigoted to me, he concluded. Yeah, I think that's more projection, dude. The writer would later return to the subject 3 days later, retweeting Marvel star Samuel L. Jackson's tweet, which he asked, quote, how's Uncle Clarence feeling about overturning Loving versus Virginia? Penders added, so I believe, and I know this one's been getting talked about lately too, because as I understand it, Loving versus Virginia right there was the case that legalized interracial marriage. And Clarence Thomas is interracially married. His wife, Jenny, is Caucasian, as if anybody's seen her. Penders added, quote, I think it's a hoot seeing Sam the Man calling out Uncle Clarence for the dishonest criminal that he is. He's right on point, unquote. Yeah, we should just bomb Hollywood. Yeah, that's what we should do. Anyways, notably in response to Thomas's decision just days prior that, quote, the Second and 14th Amendment protect an individual's rights to carry a handgun for self-defense outside the home, unquote, striking down New York's concealed carry restrictions. Penders inquired to his followers, quote, shouldn't Clarence Thomas's vote only count as 3/5 of a vote if he goes by the original Constitution? Just asking. Yeah, this guy's a freaking racist. What do you make of Pender's take on Justice Tom? Well, Penders is a racist. And everybody should be calling him out on it. Everybody should be shouting from the rooftops that he's a racist. Everybody should make it well known that Ken Penders is a racist. I don't think he knows Washington very well. Yeah, as I recall, Washington even ended up freeing his slaves, I believe. I know Jefferson did. B2. Tongue twister for you. Try saying J.B. McClowney 5 times. J.B. McClowney, J.B. McClowney, J.B. McClowney, J.B. McClowney, J.B. McClowney. I don't think the Constitution says that black and white can't get married. Actually, no, you're right there, Rick. Actually, the Constitution, the 3/5 compromise, as it's known, was used to try to unify the country at a time when you had a lot of pro-slavery sentiment, and has since been obviously nullified. The whole idea behind the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment was to kind of nullify that whole argument. Okay, the 13th Amendment granted blacks the same rights as whites. The 14th granted them the same due process rights. So yeah. So basically, So basically, Penders is a racist. People should be shouting from the rooftops that he's a racist. And that's all I think I got to say on that one. All right. So with that, I've gone through all the articles now. So now what we can do, we can move on to some wrestling news. Just a little update on what's going on with AEW. As Dynamite is going on right now. They had the Blood and Guts match that was to be the main event. Don't know the end of that, in which you had the Jericho Appreciation Society versus people, basically the Blackpool Combat Club, in which on the side of the Jericho it included Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Sammy Guevara versus Blackpool Combat Club members, interim AEW, world champion Jon Moxley, ROH, Spear champion Wheeler Yuta, and recently debuted Claudio Castagnoli as they team up with Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, and Santana in a Blood and Guts match. Now, as I understand it, because I did try to look this up, Blood and Guts match, I think, is somewhat of maybe a more violent version of the War Games matches that were initially introduced in Jim Crockett Promotions back in the 80s there, and then eventually carried over into WCW. This case, you have 2 steel cages. You have in this case, 2 teams of 6, sending a man in each at intervals and apparently Chris Jericho, the Jericho Appreciation Society, got the man advantage by winning a 6-man tag at this past Sunday's Forbidden Door. Also tonight, Jade Cargill defends the TBS championship against Layla Gray. And Orange Cassidy, coming off of his loss to Will Ospreay for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, takes on Ethan Page, coming off of a recent loss, being eliminated from the All Atlantic title Fatal 4-Way. So those are the matches that are going on tonight on AEW. And AEW has been hit by a bunch of injuries and other situations. Daniel Bryan's out injured. CM Punk is injured, who is the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Is why Moxley's the interim heavyweight champion right now. Because Tony Khan didn't want to strip Punk of the title, so he just figured he'd have an interim title. And then and of course Wheeler Yuta last week on the Elevation Dark Elevation tapings did have a successful title defense of his pure title against Tony Nese, but then was attacked by Jericho Appreciation Society member Daniel Garcia, who looked to try to take that title at some point in the near future. So that's all the wrestling news we have for you guys. Let's see, we're already at an hour and a half here. So is there anything else you guys want to ask about or talk about here? Anything else you guys want to bring up? You guys want to ask about or anything like that? Not, we might start to wind down here as I've gotten through everything already. Now, of course, I will have details on the Blood and Guts match, more details on the Blood and Guts match on tomorrow's broadcast. So you guys are going to want to come back to check that out. So I'll give you guys a few minutes. If you guys want to ask anything about what we talked about tonight, or even if there's anything else you want to bring up, you guys a few minutes to think about that. And check some things here. All right. So, anyways, anything more you guys want to ask about or say before we head out? Also, and a couple other little tidbits here. This Sunday, of course, is WWE's Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and then actually no, that's Saturday, and then Friday night is just check out the next best thing in comics. Oh, okay, all right. Well, there you go, Rick. Yeah, go ahead and plug your book there, Canadian Shield, guys. You probably check that out. Rick's a pretty good guy, so I'm sure he's got a good story there. Kind of has some info. I saw his interview with RJ last night, in which they talked a little bit about his comic and how it had some influences from the Greatest American Hero TV show back in the early 80s there. Also, guys, just to let you all know as well, Rick will be my co-host 2 weeks from this Friday on the 15th for the historical comic retrospective. We'll be continuing our look through March of 1939 of comics that went on sale. That week, of course, we'll be focusing in on Dell Comics and Centaur. So that's something to look forward to as well. Let's see. Anything else you guys want to say? I don't know. You like history? What do you think of Benedict Arnold? Well, he was historically a traitor. He betrayed the United States. Got in the way of us getting away from, try to get in the way of us getting away from Cleveland, or from King of England. Anyways, think I will go ahead and start to wrap up then. As how about John Burgoyne? Well, I haven't heard of John Burgoyne before. B2. I, of course, with the history I'm talking about, I focus more on niche history here on this channel. So, anyways, why don't we go ahead and start? We'll get into this day in niche history. Today being Wednesday, June 29th, 2022. Let's take a look back at this day in niche history. History! 72, 2002, 2007, and 1982. Okay, so with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and going with the British general. All right. Oh, Biff. Bludgeoning. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, all right. So now, with all being said, we're going to take a look back at this day in each history. We start to wind things down. And our first look, head back 50 years ago today, is on this date, 50 years ago today. Action Comics number 415 went on sale on this date back in 1972 for 20 cents, 32 pages. You had the main feature being Superman, Meet the Metropolis Monster, with a backup feature by Metamorpho. So let's see. Meet the Metropolis Monster here, which was written by Terry Bates, penciled by Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson with inking, where you had Superman, the feature character, with Morgan Edge as a major supporting character for this story. And then Metamorpho was a backup feature here. Fill My Grave with Money, written by Bob Haney, and art done by John Calhoun, with Metamorpho being the feature character, Simon and Sapphire Stagg Mason, as it were, being the supporting characters. So on that backup feature. So with that, let's see. All right. Well, anyways, getting anyways, moving on to the next piece of niche history. As on this date in 1982. On this date, now there is some conjecture here whether it was July 29th, July 30th, but generally speaking here, on this date in 1982, 40 years ago today, the English dub of The Mysterious Cities of Gold, Studio Pero, premiered on Nickelodeon, according to at least this source. There does seem to be a bit of conjecture here, but on this date, 40 years ago today, The Mysterious Cities of Gold premiered on Nickelodeon. So there we have that. Well, I think Don McLean was a good singer. I liked American Pie. Anyways, moving on to the next piece of niche history here. We go back 20 years ago today to 2002. As on this date in 2002, 3PW, known better as Propane Wrestling, held its a War Renewed event from the Viking Hall. And now, as I understand, I think Viking Hall was another name they used for the ECW arena. So after ECW closed down, of course, they started calling it Viking Hall. But in the main event of that, show, saw Sabu team with Todd Gordon with Annihilation in their corner to defeat Bill Alfonso and the Sandman. Also saw New Jack with Murder One in his corner defeat Rock and Rebel. Gary Wolf, formerly of the Pitbulls, defeat Devon Storm. Public Enemy would defeat Public Enemy of Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock would defeat Bad Breed of the late Afro Rotten and his brother Eden. That's pretty much. And then the night opened up with Christian York defeating Chris Chetty. So there we go with that one. And finally, on this date 15 years ago today in 2007, Ratatouille. Walt Disney film Ratatouille premiered in theaters on this date. On this date in the United States, after the previous week debuting at the Kodak Theater. So on this date in 2007, Ratatouille would premiere throughout the rest of the United States. So here we go with that one. So anyways, I do thank everybody for being here tonight. I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the niche content. And with that, don't forget this Friday, of course, we'll be doing our historical comic retrospect. RJ Carter will be joining me as we look at comics that went on sale, and we'll be finishing up our February 1939 coverage from focusing in on quality comic with Feature Funnies number 18. All right. Anyways, so that's on Friday. Then on Monday, this Monday being Independence Day, July 4th here in the States, I'll be sending out the StreamYard link to individuals for an open panel night. We'll be doing an open panel where I have guests on. We'll be talking about things, all things niche, to celebrate the holiday there. So with that, I thank everybody for being here. Hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.